Last week, I had a live stream on my channel to talk about the Lindsay Buziak case, but I was hit with a copyright strike from Dateline, so I had to take it down. In the Dateline episode, there is a Crime Stoppers video that has a reenactment of what the witness saw just prior to the murder. And there's also a general overview of what happened with this case in that Crime Stoppers video that's not in the Dateline episode.
Police urgently need your help to fight crime in our community. Watch this Czech News Crime Stoppers reenactment.
On Saturday, February 2nd, 2008, 24-year-old Victoria realtor Lindsay Buziak had made arrangements to show the house located at 1702 D'Souza Place in Saanich. Buziak had received a cold call from a female with an accent regarding purchase of this $1 million property. Buziak did not know the prospective buyers and had a sense of uneasiness. Shortly after 5:30 p.m., the prospective buyers arrived at the home and met with Lindsay in the driveway. The male was described as a Caucasian and tall, and the female as Caucasian in the 30s with blonde hair, wearing a red, black, and white patterned dress. Lindsay Buziak was murdered in the upstairs bedroom. If you or anybody you know has information concerning the murder of Lindsay Buziak.
Also in the Dateline episode is a video with Jason Zailo in the Saanich Police Department at the crime scene a few days after it happened.
Which side of the door was going on when the door opened for you?
Right where you are.
So
Yeah.
so I'll do that. I'm just
Yeah.
so I know where we're going. So he opens it like this. Does he open it all the way, or you just?
He unlocked the door.
Okay, he unlocks it. Yeah. So I unlock it. Okay, it's unlocked.
I just opened it.
Okay,
So I don't know if his hand. I know that.
I don't know why Jason's even talking about his friend's hand when he opened the door. That was a little weird, but what's weirder is how he's using his hand like this, like he's turning a doorknob, but there's no doorknob. So if it's not a doorknob, he's turning a key. But supposedly this man's never been here before, right?
Because I heard it unlock.
Okay.
The second he unlocked it, I pushed it open.
okay.
As you can see, you have the part of the door that goes when you open the door this way.
He was already in front of me.
He's gonna be in front of you if you open the door for you, right?
Yeah.
And I said, I'm running upstairs.
I said, I'm running upstairs. What did his friend say?
Okay.
And I was yelling, I'm like, Lindsay, Lindsay, Lindsay.
All right, call someone in your house. Do you call their name Lindsay, Lindsay, Lindsay? No, you would say Lindsay or something like that. But what's weird about that is that he didn't do that outside.
And where did Cohen go?
He went straight ahead.
I don't know what his hand is doing like that. That's weird, but let's look at a diagram of the house. So Jason is at the front door. He's the green circle, and his friend who came in through the back door is the yellow one. And so we have his friend running from the back of the house toward the front to open the door for Jason. And Jason's friend just runs straight ahead, and we don't know what he does. Now, Jason then goes up the stairs like he told his friend that he was going to do. And he runs up the steps and finds Lindsay in the master bedroom. The first place he looked. He didn't look anywhere else. Did his friend yell Lindsay's name when he came in through the back door?
You went straight ahead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So just hang on a sec there.
yeah.
So he went straight ahead,
Yeah.
and you went running upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go upstairs first, and then you can talk your way, go up the stairs, and then we'll go to the end, all right?
Mm-hmm.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So I was running inside the house.
I don't really pay attention to body language, and I'm definitely not a body language expert, but when the detective first walked up the stairs, Jason Zailo lowered his guard. He had his arms crossed, and then he dropped his arms and took a deep breath.
You okay?
Yeah.
The way I see it, and of course this is my opinion, the detective being downstairs talking to Jason face to face was more stressful than him going upstairs to where Jason would have to explain the actual traumatic event that happened. But while the detective was going up the stairs, I couldn't help but notice that Jason's eyes were just looking at the floor a certain way. So now Jason's hat is face forward, and so with the logo on the back of the hat, we can get a good idea of where his head's turning when he's looking down. So let's see which direction Jason's looking. On the floor in front of the door, there's a black rectangle. It's not the welcome mat or anything like that. It's just a rectangle. It's part of the floor. So we can use that to base the angle off of. So the way Jason's head is turning, he's looking down and to his right. So if Jason's head is turned down and to the right, his eyes can look further behind him. So I would say to that purple triangle that's within his field of vision from this perspective of the camera. We'll take that angle, flip it over. So we're looking into the house in a crime scene photo now, and we'll see what's there. That's where Lindsay's shoes were when this all happened. Being that Lindsay's shoes are on the left, closest to the wall, that means that the people who also took their shoes off were a little bit toward the center of that hallway, and that's more that's in the center of where Jason's looking at. So I'm not saying he knows, but if Lindsay's shoes are on the left, and if you're walking in the house and the person on your left is taking their shoes off right there, and there are two other people, their shoes will be more over to the right. I don't know. Maybe he's looking for some kind of evidence that was left behind, but I would be looking real close at whatever he's looking at and whatever he's doing, but it doesn't seem like they're doing that.
Okay.
So I was running inside the house.
Why is his hand hovering over the banister like that? Like he's scared to touch it? Fingerprints? More than one set of fingerprints? More than two sets of fingerprints? Supposedly he's never been to that house before.
I just came running up the stairs.
I came running up the stairs. When you go somewhere that's unfamiliar to you, especially in a situation like this, you would say you went up the stairs. You don't say that for places that you've never been to. Putting that along with the turning of the key, that's enough for me to say that this man has most likely been to this house before. There's something wrong about that.
Do you remember grabbing the banister at all, or?
Down there.
Okay. What else were you doing? Did you see anything? Did you hear anything? Did you smell anything? Kind of put yourself back there into that exact time.
The time I got from the door to upstairs was probably 2 seconds.
Did you see anything? Did you hear anything? Did you smell anything?
Okay, so
I was running up the stairs.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I didn't walk. The second I opened the door, I yelled Lindsay, and then I ran up these stairs as fast as I could.
Okay.
So I ran up.
Okay, let's go back to the Crime Stoppers video.
On Saturday, February 2nd, 2008, 24-year-old Victoria realtor Lindsay Buziak had made arrangements to show the house located at 1702 D'Souza Place in Saanich. Buziak had received a cold call from a female with an accent.
So Lindsay gets a call from a lady with an accent. Now, they say that Lindsay said that it was a Spanish accent. I don't believe it was a Spanish accent. I believe everybody involved in this case is white.
Regarding purchase of this $1 million property. Buziak did not know the prospective buyers and had a sense of uneasiness.
I read a transcript of a interview that Jason Zailo and Shirley Zailo had, and they say that Lindsay wasn't worried about anything. But Jeff Buziak is Lindsay's father, and he says that she told him that she was concerned about that. But Jason was supposed to be there because she was concerned about meeting those people. So what is it? If she's concerned, but you're there because she's concerned, but you're saying in an interview years later that everything was fine. She wasn't worried about anything.
Shortly after 5:30 p.m., the prospective buyers arrived.
All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make a 90-degree triangle from the curb on the left side of the street to the two people and the direction in which they're walking toward the corner of the driveway where Lindsay was standing. Since we know the direction that they're walking, we just look at the direction that they came from. They're walking to the street from the south. They're not walking. I'm talking about the angle that they're walking, that they're approaching the house. That means they came from this corner. Now we have the direction that they're walking from that corner. And if they're walking in that direction, surely they can also look in that direction and look up. The buyers don't approach straight on. They come in from the far right and cross the street as they're walking on the street toward the left. The diagonal part, the direction that they're walking, and use that as a reference point. Now, at the top of the street, showing the angle that they were walking, the second arrow that's rising up toward the woman's face, and that's looking straight ahead from their perspective. And it's, if you're looking up, you'd be looking at that window right there. I'm talking about the narrow one. So I'll bring this up closer so you can see. So we have the angle that they're walking, and then also in the same direction that they're walking, if they look up, they'll be looking at that corner window. Now, what's crazy about this is that is also the exact direction that the sun will be shining at 5:30 p.m. Between 5:15 and 5:30 p.m., the sun will be setting behind them, directly behind them. So where the couple came in from the top of the street walking toward Lindsay, that's the same direction as where the sun will be shining between 5:15 and 5:30 on February 2nd, 2008. And the sun's is between 1 and 3 degrees over the horizon. So it's very low. So from Lindsay's perspective, the light would be directly behind these two people and she wouldn't be able to make out their face. Just like when you take a photo and if you have the sun behind you, you can't take a picture of someone's face because it's a big shadow. And also, if you're walking in that direction and you're looking up at that window, there would be a glare there from the sun. So, as I said, anybody walking toward Lindsay from that angle would be backlit. It would just be a silhouette. The goal here is to get Lindsay inside the house with these people. So if these people walk up and Lindsay just walks inside, then what? So the idea is to have them meet up in front of the house and then Lindsay walk them inside. But since the people are on foot, they have to be told when the best time is to approach the house. And that's timing. But if you have someone in that little window telling you she's right there, that's coordination. Now I want to show you something real quick. We'll use this garage door off of this house, and I'm going to show you the view from inside the house from that window. You can see that house, and in addition to that, you can also see the area from which these people walked from at that corner. One thing I noticed on this real estate listing is this window was not installed with the other windows around it. It has a different frame around it, and it was installed afterwards. Another issue here, that glare, if you were approaching the house, you would also have that glare from the glass if you're inside the house and you're trying to signal to these people to approach the house. You have two people walking up from that direction, and I was watching an old clip and it showed the 2008 footage, and the window is missing. I mean, it could be a coincidence. Within that narrow window, you see a smaller square. That is this window here. That is in the master bedroom en suite. It's a frosted window now, but it wasn't back in 2008. which means that the two people that are approaching the house can look up into that narrow window and see all the way to that master bedroom and suite where the bathtub is. If you have someone that's on the lookout who's looking at the narrow window up into the narrow window to where that back bathroom and suite is, and also looking down the street to another lookout, that person straight down the street to where those parallel parking spaces are can also view the window to that bathroom. So it's a 3-point surveillance. They can watch Lindsay approach from either side of the street and turn into D'Souza. They can also signal for the people to walk. The person in the bathroom can signal to the people outside to have them walk up. In addition to that, the person in the bathroom can hear whatever Lindsay and them are talking about through that window. And I'm going to leave that there, because when we go through minute by minute, it'll make a lot more sense.